Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, media personalities here gathered today. We are once again honored to have you with us today. Our focus today is on government e-block school project that has become a propaganda and a discourse that is going on around the country, and I'm sure most of the media men here are aware of that. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, there has been a lot of talks lately about the politics of abandoned government projects, and the e-block issue has dominated public discourse after the ultimatum issued to government by the paramount chief of Aflao traditional area, Togbe Amenya Fiti the Fifth. We recall that in 2012, the FY Mahama government announced its intention to build 200 community day schools, senior high schools in the country to enhance access to secondary education. It is instructive to note that the contract were awarded for 124 out of the speculated number of 200 schools. It is expected that 101 out of the 124 will be funded by the government of Ghana, that is the GOG, in two phases. Phase one of the project consists of 50 schools commenced in March 2014. Phase two was made up of 51 and commenced in July 2015. The World Bank funded the construction of an additional 23 districts under the Secondary Education Improvement Project, that is CEIP, which commenced in July 2015. This brought the total number of e-blocks to 124. To all intents and purposes, the former president completed only, or the NDC administration at that time, I repeat, were able to complete only 29 of the schools e-blocks out of 200 e-blocks before Ghanaians voted the NDC out of power in 2016. I repeat, the former president and his NDC regime were able to complete only 29 of the e-blocks out of 200 e-blocks before Ghanaians voted them out in 2016, resulting in an election where Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won and the governing New Patriotic Party took over. The point must be made clear that before the inception of the Akufo-Addo government, only 29 e-block schools has been completed and operational, with the rest either on the ground or not constructed at all. I want to repeat, before the MPP administration took over the reins of leadership in this country, a total of 29 e-block schools had been completed and operational, with either the rest at the ground level or not constructed at all. Statistics from the Ghana Education Service indicate that as at the time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama-led government left office in January 7th, 2017, only 29 e-blocks out of 200 of its e-block day schools project were completed. And I'm repeating that because I want to emphasize on that, so that media men, we are throwing a challenge so that you can go and do your own research and come back. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, records obtained from the Ministry of Education indicates that the FY Mahama administration, this is also very important, awarded contracts of over 900 million Ghana cedis to construction companies to establish e-block schools, but failed to pay contractors. They failed to pay contractors. They awarded 900 million Ghana cedis contract to various construction companies, but they failed to pay those contractors. It took a Akufo-Addo administration, when they took over the leadership of this country, to pay off the debt of those contractors, that I'm talking about the 900 million, to ensure that none of the schools are abandoned but completed, for all school children to benefit from the government's free SHS program. So let's set the record straight here. Journalists, we are emphasizing this for you to go out there and put up the message across. President Akufo-Addo, after clearing Mahama's debt of failed to pay these contractors, has now initiated steps to continue the E-block projects. Ladies and gentlemen, the president has shown massive commitment towards the completion of E-blocks schools, which the former president John Dramani Mahama started. So it's a fallacy for anybody to talk about the president abandoning E-block projects in the country. According to the 2021 budget statement, the president Akufo-Addo has completed almost 31 E-blocks as at 2020, that is as at last year, E-blocks under the secondary school improvement program, that is the 4 years, as part of effort to increase and provide infrastructure and implementation of free SHS program across the country. Indeed, as from 2017 to date, 31 new schools has been constructed, bringing the total number of completed projects to 60 as at September 2020. I repeat, as from 2017 to date, new schools has been completed, bringing the total of the E-blocks completed projects to 60 as at September 2020. It is important to note that all the 60 completed schools has been operationalized and are currently in use. So you can go and check the records. Per the Ghana Education Service record, the remaining 64 projects have been categorized into 3 groups. Emphasis. They are all 64 remaining projects have been categorized into 3 groups. Category A include 21 structure at 60% completion or above completion. Category B consists of 16 structures which are between 25 to 60% complete. And we want to make this emphasis so that those who are criticizing the government that we have abandoned projects and government is not doing anything about it will take note. Category C consists of 27 terminated contracts, which include projects. I'm talking about the contracts that were given and then they awarded 900 million and most of them were not done. They abandoned it and they left it like that. So these are the contracts that I'm talking about. And so those were at the structural level. So I'm setting the record straight. So ladies and gentlemen, between President Akufo-Addo and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has invested heavily in education to increase access and improving quality of education within the first 4 years of administration. Clearly, Akufo-Addo's administration have been committed to completing these projects against claim that he has abandoned all these projects. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, if the one who initiated the E-block project was able to complete only 29 within 4 years, that the government was the one who inherited the projects has been able to complete more than 31 to 60 projects, of which E-blocks within the 4 years and handed over for use. Which one of the two is committed in making sure all these projects are completed? Don't forget that Akufo-Addo's administration has to pay 900 million contract debt to construction companies, which is very, very important. The claim that the E-block projects started by the Mahama administration has been abandoned by the Akufo-Addo-led administration is a fallacy, a facial claim, and it ought to be dismissed with absolute contempt. That brings to significant strife the President Akufo-Addo has chalked in the Volta region in terms of development. In a little over 4 years, the Nana-Addo government has initiated 17 infrastructure projects in the Volta region. As we speak, the Akufo-Addo administration has completed 8,746 of these infrastructure projects, and 8,588 projects are ongoing in the Volta region. These infrastructure projects are in various sectors of the economy, including agriculture, education, energy, health, housing, industrial, market, railways, roads, safety, and security. It is therefore misleading and very disingenuous for anyone to claim that the Akufo-Addo-led government has abandoned the Volta region in terms of development. Again, the Akufo-Addo government made a promise to develop the country, improve the economy, ensure prosperity to Ghanaians, the Ghanaian people, and is delivering on his promise. Volta region remains the World Bank of the opposition NDC, and yet the 8 years of their regime or their time in power accounted for nothing with regard to development, and we can challenge them to come and let's go one-on-one in all sectors to prove that the NPP administration has done better in the Volta region than the NDC. Ladies and gentlemen, how plausible is it for your stepmother to pull your ass out of fire when your biological mother refuses to do so? At least the NPP is honest enough not to give the people of the Volta region any promise they know they cannot fulfill. What about the NDC? It might behoove the unintelligent excuse of any opposition element to check their facts before spewing their uneducated rhetorics. As for the former President Mahama, the least said about him, the better. It is how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's desperation for power is driving him to the edge of attention-seeking tantrums. Mr. Mahama is clearly acting like an arsonist who always expects to take credit for having extinguished the fire that he sets. He cannot start a fire and then call the fire department acting like he is the hero. Our advice to the NDC and the former president is that he should focus on redeeming his party's credibility and his own personal credibility, and heed to the advice of what we are hearing, the alleged family pressure on him to step down and not contest any political office in the country again. We are going forward as a movement, and we'll always make sure we set the record straight. Thank you very much.